Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. Today is a really cool one that I've been really looking forward to, because today, my friends, we are going to take a look at a Marc Jacobs sweater. And this ain't just any Marc Jacobs sweater, this is the Grunge Sweater, as he calls it. Very official, the Marc Jacobs with the Grunge Sweater. And if you haven't figured it out by now, of course this one is modeled after the famous sweaters of KURT Cobain. I think probably the most famous one he wore was actually red and black striped, whereas this one is, a mustard yellow and green. But it's still in that same exact style, and there's so many details and nice little touches that bring that out that we'll get into later. But just for me, this colorway fit with me a bit more. It feels kind of more collegiate rugby style, so I really like that. And this sweater does bring up some interesting questions. Like, I know a lot of people, when they look at stuff like this, they think that it's in bad taste, like you're stealing this really authentic grunge style for this, fashion sweater, right? But here's the thing, grunge, while very cool and very genuine, was just as much of a put-on aesthetic as this exact sweater itself is, Like, one is really no different than the other. I feel like Marc Jacobs being inspired by grunge and KURT Cobain for this sweater is no different from, a designer being influenced by army uniforms or by Victorian dress, anything like that. They're all perfectly valid inspirations in my opinion, so I don't have an issue with it, but I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comments. So that spiel aside, spiel is such an interesting word. Where does spiel come from, do you think? That sounds kind of German to me. Spiel, like Glockenspiel. Glockenspiel, that's gotta be German too, right? That is, this isn't a language channel, you guys. What are you doing? Why are we watching this, you guys? Spiel. So after my spiel is done with, now it's time that I think we get to actually check this thing out. But first, I've looked into it, and a very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. Okay guys, if you are still here after that intro, oh my god, what a mess. I commend you. But hey, you know what? I actually did it on purpose, because now that means that only the true fans and the people that are really into this are left. So, again, I commend you. Anyway, let's start off by taking a look at the retail tags that came with this piece. So, of course, the main attraction here is this big, thick piece of cardboard. It barely bends at all. It's super stiff. And it is a matte black, as you can see. And then printed on there, not embossed, just printed, it says The Marc Jacobs, and you can see that the is above that, and it's kind of centered over that, right, not left justified, and these lines are very tight together. There's barely any space between the and Marc Jacobs. Of course, take a look at that font and that spacing and everything, because all that should be consistent everywhere we see it. And the back of this has a few cool things, so let's get into these. So our sticker here, we've got, it looks like that's a model number there, and we've got the size. And do note that this is an extra small, which is a size smaller than I usually get, so we'll talk about that fit later. Unfortunately, it was ripped a bit here, so we can't see exactly what was going on, but I'm guessing it's just style and things like that, color, etc. And then you see the size down at the bottom here with extra small. And as you can see, that's all printed in white. And at the bottom, you get a barcode, and under that, Sudge Retail, the Sudge, that's a word, right? Obviously, no. Suggested Retail, Detail Suggère, so French, of course. And they didn't put anything in there, but maybe wherever you get it from, they do put that price in, and that's good. And then along with that is a much smaller tag here. Also quite thick, but not as thick as the other one, bends a bit easier. And this one is a matte white, and then printed on there in black, you've got the Marc Jacobs. And on the back, in bold print, again center justified, it says the irregularities in this knit garment are an inherent part of the design and reflect a distinct characteristic of our garment. Of course, if you get this and anything is like misspelled or anything like that, a very bad sign there. And these are attached with a fairly soft black string, quite thin, to this little plastic piece here, which is a black plastic, and then that is embossed, the Marc Jacobs. And the back of that is the same. And if we follow that up, this is hooked right through the size tag under the brand tag at the back of the neck here. Now, speaking of that brand tag at the back of the neck, well, what do you know? That's what we're gonna check out next, you guys. Who would have thunk it? Plot twist. Oh, okay, that's enough. Let's check it out. So this right here is a very, very soft, satiny embroidered tag. You can see the kind of light bouncing off of it there. And then stitched into there in white, all centered, all bold. That font's the same as everywhere else we've seen it. It says, "The Grunge Sweater, Marc Jacobs." And as you can see, this tag is absolutely massive. It takes up the entire back of the neck underneath the neckline here. And this tag is stitched in with horizontal single black stitches in all four corners of the sweater, if I can actually get it out of the way there. And if we turn that inside out to get a look at it, you can see it's super, super clean, and it's the inverse colors. So this is black on white, black text on white. And if you were to turn the sweater over to look at the back side, it doesn't appear that you can see any of the stitches through to the other side of the sweater. And now under that main tag, you have two smaller tags, little loop tags in the same material. And stitched into that first one in white is the size, so of course extra small, XS, and the back is blank. The next tag is a bit skinnier and comes down quite a bit further than the size tag. And this one stitched in there, going vertically from bottom to top, it says made in Turkey, so where it was made. And again, the back of that guy is blank. All right, guys, I personally have to say I really care for this sweater. So therefore, we're gonna take a look at the care tags inside of it. Ha 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 ha. This is why you subscribe to this channel, guys. I'm hilarious. So right off the bat, I can say that these are the tiniest care tags I have ever seen in a piece of luxury clothing in my life. It's actually crazy how small they are. So they are matte white little pieces of plastic for the tags, and just in there in all caps, printed in black, if I can get it to focus. Good Lord, camera, what you doing? Center justified. I should just re-record this, but I'm not going to because hashtag content, okay? You guys just enjoy my mistakes, please. So it says dry clean, and then I'm guessing whatever dry clean translates to in French and Spanish, perhaps. I don't know, I'm not a language guru. The back of that has the care instructions in French and Spanish, I assume, and a P in a circle for whatever reason, I do not know. Then you get the fabrication, which in this case is 100% wool, always a good sign for a sweater, high quality stuff. And then you get, again, where it was made, Turkey, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 languages, and at the very bottom your RN and CA numbers. The back of that one is blank. And then there's one more tag here where you get the brand print, and that is in that brand font, so it's not in the other font that the rest of them were using. Then you get the model number, which should match what was on the retail tag, and your colorway, which in this case is army green. And the back of that has a sticker with a 1 on it. I don't know if that's referring to the size or something else. I could not say, but I just wanted to show you guys that it's there. And one last interesting thing about these tags to note is that each one is a completely different size. So there's this one, and then the next one is a bit longer, and then the next one is a bit skinnier. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool. All right, friends, it is now time to take a look at some of the unique, really cool elements of this sweater. So as you can see, it's nice, big, bold lines between that yellow and green. And if we get in close, we can see that knit pattern and the kind of zigzag pattern that you get when it changes colors there along those lines. And you can also see that it's kind of a medium knit. Like, you can really see each stitch there, but they're not like massive stitches, like super visible either. It has a crew neck, which is ribbed, and that one is in the green as opposed to the yellow. And then the cuffs and the hem are also ribbed. But now that we're talking about those, you might be noticing something. And no, I haven't owned this for 20 years. This is how it comes. It is intentionally distressed. And I think quite importantly, they keep that distressing just to the cuffs and the hems. If there were holes all over the sweater and things, it might not be as appealing. Certainly to some people it would be, but for the average person, I think just at the cuffs and the hems is the perfect amount of distressing. But when we look at the details here, you can see that the distressing is quite intense. Like, they have gone all the way through. It's not just wear, it is legitimate holes. Like, this looks like the kind of sweater that's been in your closet for, yeah, 20 years, and it's been eaten by moths and all sorts of stuff for that really, really kind of well-worn look. And of course, as you would expect from a piece at this kind of price point, all that stitching is very, very clean and precise. So now that we've seen all the details, let's try this sweater on to see how it feels and see how it fits. So first, let's talk about the feel of this piece. As I mentioned, it is like a mid-weight knit. Like each kind of piece of yarn or fabric or whatever, it's not too thick, not too thin. Each stitch is fairly tight together, so you don't have much of an open knit or anything. And it is most definitely just straight up wool. Not super heavy, scratchy wool, but it does have a little bit of scratch to it. It's definitely not like, you know, merino virgin wool or anything where you don't feel any of that scratch whatsoever. But for me, I can take just that little bit of scratch, so that's a-okay with me. The fit is where it gets more interesting. So I mentioned it, this one is tagged an extra small, and that's because at the store, it was noted that it was an oversized fit. And now that I've put it on, I can see that is 100% true. So it is kind of a boxy fit. So tagged an extra small, but I would say it fits more like a true to size small bordering on a medium. As you can see on my body, I usually wear a small, and even on me, tagged an extra small, it seems a little bit big. But for a piece like this, I think oversized is just right. If you think about how KURT Cobain wore it back in the day, it was very oversized, so I think that is just perfect. So I would consider maybe sizing down one size, or getting your normal size if you want that extra oversized fit. So that is what real Marc Jacobs clothing looks like. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.